So on the same note of Harden opting in and kind of controlling where he wants to go, there was also another quote. Austin Rivers was on a podcast this week, and he mentioned Harden and Ben Simmons, both former Sixers. Well, one soon-to-be former Sixers guy. But he mentioned saying that the NBA is a privilege. If you were a free agent, then you could choose where you want to go. That's the business. That this started with James Harden and Ben Simmons. All these guys doing this shit, it's bad for the league. Do you agree with the kind of the forcing a trade out of a place like what Ben Simmons did, and then what Harden's trying to do now? Do you think this is bad for the league? Do you agree with Austin Rivers?
I mean, what's bad for the league? How?
I guess by guys not kind of sticking with their contract that they agreed to.
So a guy asking for a trade.
Yeah.
Or a guy not playing. Which one are you talking about?
Asking for a trade, asking out of the contract.
For trades and asking, that's not new.
Forcing their way out.
That's not new.
But asking and forcing are two different things.
I mean, didn't Charles Barkley do that? Didn't Wilt Chamberlain do that? Like, that's not new.
But yes, but those two were a difference of like 25 years, not 5 times.
I just gave you 2 examples. I didn't say that they were the only ones. What's the difference? No difference than, quote unquote Magic Johnson getting the coach fired, forcing the coach out, forcing your way out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this stuff's not new.
I mean, I don't think it's good.
It's just that people talk about it all the time now. It's a topic. We're sitting here talking about it.
That's true.
Is it good to have a bunch of unhappy players? No, it's not good for the league either, right? So
it keeps people talking about the NBA all year round.
Yeah, that's true. You look at it both ways, though. Is it good to have unhappy players? No. Is it good to have players forcing their way out?
I have no issue with it whatsoever. One thing I can say that usually the team that has won the championship, we don't have these issues.
Yeah, well, that's definitely true.
Yep.
There you go.
At least not soon after they win the championship. A year or two later, you can start to see that stuff happen.
The summer that they won it.
Yes.
But if guys were free agents and they didn't get their worth, then maybe they would, like Denver did have guys leave. That was very important to their team.
Yeah.
Because of contracts.
That's true. True.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just happened to be a free agent.
I agree with you. I think it's been happening for a long time. It's funny that people.
Yeah, I get it. To say it's bad for the league, I wouldn't necessarily say it's bad for the league. I think it could be a stain if a guy just won't play, won't show up.
That did happen to us, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like that's
Ben Simmons. The Ben Simmons one's different than the
that's
Harden.
not. I don't think anyone looks at that and be like, man, the league is. Look, what's wrong with that league? I think Ben got more heat from that than the league.
Yeah.
I mean, his career and how he was perceived in the league has flipped.
Took a big dent.
I mean, a lot of teams.
If more players did that, I think it would be a problem.
Yeah, but I think that a lot of people were seeing that, and they're seeing that, yeah, he got out and he this and that, but
they don't want what comes with it.
It doesn't. Yeah, it looks worse for him, not better.
They're like, it's not worth it.
Yeah,
it's not worth it at all. I did think overall you brought up some good points though in that whole interview. You talked about saying we're at a point now where the top guys aren't getting screwed, but the mid-level players are getting squeezed and being forced to take less money. Those are the guys who are kind of getting screwed with what's going on with contracts. But which I thought was a good point.
The NBA, the history of the NBA has always wanted. If you look back to agents a long time ago, they've always wanted pay the best players as much as you can pay them and pay everybody else the minimum. There's been agents that felt that way.
I know.
If you could pay one guy, if you could pay Michael Jordan $90 million and everybody else the minimum, they would have did it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So that's not there's some people that believe that that's how it should be. So that's up to the union to negotiate those things.
Try to sort out, yeah.
So it was that was when I came into the league and when I went through a couple lockouts and negotiations and that's how the mid-level and by mid-level, all that stuff came about because the mid-level, the middle ground was being pushed.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of contracts, a lot of minimum contracts. It wasn't many opportunities in the middle, and it wasn't many options in the middle because a couple of guys, you had basically your top 4 players and everybody else is being squeezed to the bottom. So that's how these mid-level exceptions and all of this stuff came into play because of that. So that tells you that the mid-level area, how it's being affected. But right now, the mid-level is what, $10 to $12 million?
Yeah.
Okay. I think the first year we put it in, the mid-level was like maybe $2 million.
Oh man. That's the vet min now.
We didn't even have I don't even know if the vet minimum was put in that year or after. Where 10-year service or so was like $1 million. And they would put that in because teams were signing younger players because they were less expensive. And then the veterans, and so then they add that veteran minimum. And then when they put in the veteran minimum, teams were still signing the younger players. The veteran minimum was more. So they started saying it counted equal on the cap if it was $1 million, if it was a minimum.
Yep. Yeah.
So they had to change the language,
man,
to get more people to sign the veterans, even though they put in that higher minimum salary.
A lot has changed.
Yeah.